Nostradamus Predictions 2024. The French astrologer Michel de Nostradame, aka Nostradamus, published his book Les Prophéties nearly 500 years ago. The infamous books contain 942 forecasts that appear to predict the future. He is said to have predicted John F. Kennedy's assassination, the 9/11 terror attacks, and even the start of the coronavirus pandemic, as per interpretations of his writings. For 2023, he predicted an economic disaster worldwide. So high will the bushel of wheat rise, that man will be eating his fellow man, he wrote in one of his quatrains. Though the world was shaken by the economic slowdown post-COVID-19 and the soaring cost of living crisis, the prophecy was a bit of an exaggeration. But according to many reports, more than 70% of his prophecies have come true so far. Here are some of Nostradamus's predictions for 2024. First is climate catastrophe. The French astrologer has predicted that in 2024, world will witness climate chaos. The dry earth will grow more parched, he predicts in one quatrain, and there will be great floods. Elsewhere, he warns of very great famine through pestiferous wave, the latter phrase potentially referring to tsunamis destroying agriculture and allowing disease and starvation to take hold. If such predictions turn out to be accurate, we may be in for even more destructive climate events in 2024 than we have seen already. Next, naval confrontation with China. A confrontation around China is something that many geopolitical experts and journalists have started to see in the changing dynamics and rise of China as a global power. In the past, China has showcased its brute force several times in regions around the South China Sea and Taiwan, most of them through its naval ships. Nostradamus also predicted something similar to this centuries ago. In one of his quatrains, he wrote about combat and naval battle. He said that the red adversary will become pale with fear, putting the great ocean in dread. The great ocean here might suggest the Indian Ocean, and the phrase red adversary is a reference to communist China, and then the royal tumult. In one of the quatrains, Nostradamus refers to someone he calls the King of the Isles, who had a controversial divorce and who is driven out by force. Further, he also wrote that this king is replaced by one who will have no mark of a king. The analyst and author, Mario Redding, who complied and wrote the book, The Nostradamus Prophecies, said that with King of the Isles, Nostradamus might be pointing to King Charles III. He might be forced to abdicate due to persistent attacks on both himself and his second wife. In the same book by Redding, Nostradamus foresaw the death of Queen Elizabeth II in the year 2022. New young Pope. The current Pope, Pope Francis, is currently in his mid-80s and has suffered health problems in the recent past. Nostradamus said in one of his predictions that due to old age, the Pope will be replaced by a new younger Pope. Through the death of the very old pontiff, a Roman of good age will be elected, he wrote. While the arrival of a younger, vigorous Pope sounds like a good thing, Nostradamus immediately goes on to say that the new leader will weaken his see and that he will be Pope for a long time. The exact meaning of weaken is of course open to debate. Does he mean the influence of the church will somehow lessen, or is some greater scandal on the way? That only time will tell. Do you believe in these predictions? Share your thoughts below for much content. Subscribe to WhatsApp India.